All right, so um, my question is first, you know, do we know what is really coming of who we're becoming every single day? What does who we are do to what's around us, right? So in 2010, a double-blind study was conducted, and it was based on cortisol levels. Cortisol is a hormone in the body that's released when the body goes under stress. So when the body is under stress, cortisol levels rise. Cortisol is an important hormone in regards to regulating metabolism and regulating the immune system in order to help our bodies function better. At earlier times in the day, cortisol levels are higher, and through our days, as the day progresses, cortisol levels lower naturally. So when it comes to cortisol levels in this double-blind study that was done in 2010, this double-blind study was conducted in regards to fear. Okay, so fear reduction was the ultimate goal, and they had two groups, and in these two groups, one group was induced with cortisol and one was not induced with cortisol. And cortisol is induced naturally through a stress situation. So when cortisol was induced in a group, they found that the group that cortisol was induced within actually was less fearful of heights than the group that was not induced with cortisol. And this is stress, okay? Now, the reason why I'm saying this and I'm starting this out like this with this double-blind study is that it's important to know that we are supposed to be stressed. Okay, we are supposed to have stress. We're supposed to incur stress. So running from stressful situations is actually doing us an injustice, and it's not helping us develop into the people that we're supposed to become. So to all my light leaders, to all my mentees, to all my mentors, to all my light leaders across the globe, understand that your stress is your gateway. It's your rite of passage. In order to be able to make it to where you want to go, in order to be able to succeed in life, you have to be able to successfully analyze stress and handle stress. And when you can, and when you do, it'll actually reduce fear in your body when it comes to the things that you do worry about and the things that you are afraid of attacking every single day. So we can't run from stress. We need cortisol levels to be present. So when I'm talking about this cortisol relationship, I really want to jump into the fact that it helps our hypothalamus function better, which kind of goes into the scientific part of mood regulation and our mood swings, being in control of our emotions, right? I'm gonna say it again, being in control of our emotions and not being controlled by our emotions. Because if we are being controlled by our emotions, then we're on a roller coaster. I know some people, you feel like you're emotionally driven and you feel like that's your superpower. I get it. I've talked to not millions of people, but I say at least hundreds of people that have told me themselves that their emotions is what makes them effective. And I'm going to go ahead and stand on the other side of that and say that you have to be able to stand above your emotions and rise to the level of logic, because without using the logical mind, it's really difficult to trust you. Okay, it's really difficult for people to give you too much of a responsibility, because every time things get going haywire for you, you're gonna rely on your emotion. You'll get sad, you'll get angry, you'll get super happy. You don't know how to stay in that zone of proximity where you can keep a balance, because everything in life demands polarity. Like it demands polarity. It's not like you have a choice and whether or not you can have balance in your life. You have to be balanced. You have to have the ability to stay in the pocket. Kobe Bryant always used to say that when he went to competition, his goal was to never get too high and never get too low. He wanted to be even keel. And we have to find that even keel balance within our lifestyles. You have to understand your emotions are a guide, but your emotions are not the only guide. Okay, your logic, the things you learn, the information that you receive, the studying that you do, the experiences that you've had, you have to draw upon those and then build an understanding of what the situation warrants at that time. Stop being emotionally driven creatures, okay? Men, you lead a family, or you're a young man, you're going to lead a family, or you're going to be in charge of people, or maybe you work for people and people are depending on you. You cannot be emotionally pulled every which way. Get it together. Get it together, especially when it comes to that over testosterone driven society that we live in. right? We can't let our ego and our pride dominate situations to whereas we are now not working with people that we should be working with because we have a over emotional response, and we over here eating excess soy, which is dysregulating our testosterone levels, and now we out here going crazy and popping off and wanting to fight and whatnot. Man, fighting is the most low level form of human interaction. You are fighting because you don't understand how to interact. You have no communication skills. You have run out of the ability to be able to use dialect and use intellect to be able to solve your issue. So in conclusion to my point, let's get control of our emotions. Let's practice breathing. Let's practice conflict resolution. Let's teach that to our kids. Let's practice that ourselves, right? Let's continue to practice that ourselves. Stop fighting everybody. Stop fighting everybody. It's showing your low level of awareness, self-awareness, right? So when in regards to how is who you are affecting the world that's around you, most people, right? Most people seem to think that the situation is what's dominating in their world, right? They think that because that they don't have the money they need, or they don't have the people that's supposed to be around, they think that's why they don't have their goals at this time. And if they just get put in the right spot, or if they just have that right timing, or they just have that, no. This is what it is, okay? This is what it is. Through studying and through mentors that I've had, it's all about massive action, okay? You're not taking enough action, therefore you don't have the things in your life that you want. Period. You're not doing the work. So all my spiritual folks, you pray every single day, right? You praying all the time. You talking to God, you telling God all these things that you want, but you ain't doing the work. You thinking that all of a sudden God gonna drop this blessing off on you like, boom, here you go, my daughter, here you go, my son. It's time for you to go ahead and maximize my blessing. No, I talk about this all the time. God is a master investor. God is a businessman. He works mathematically. He understands numbers. He's not going to put extra dollars and dimes on somebody that's not going to put in no time. You tripping. Stop thinking that you're finna get blessed with blessings that you can't handle. You can't manage it. He's not going to send his blessings to a mismanager. You can't manage the money. Why he gonna put it into you? You can't manage the money, right? I got some youngsters that want me to teach them about investing and stuff like that because I'm into the stock markets right now and I'm getting into the crypto space and things like that. And they want to jump in and they like, Sloan, just let me just throw my money all the way in. It's like, no, that's not how you do it. You do your studying. You find out what the business is about. You find out who the CEO is. You find out what they've been doing over the last fiscal year. You find out all those things. God's doing the same thing on us. He's running an extensive business report on who we are as an entity, and who you are right now might say that you are a liability, and you have to be able to tell yourself that first, because once you tell yourself that, then now you can start to go about managing what's going wrong, managing where you're not effective yet, managing where you are doing great and you need to kind of continue to push forward in that area and add on top of that and be a producer versus a consumer, taking things away, not being a liability, but being more of an asset. That's the things that we need to be focusing on. And that's something that is affecting your outside, right? It's affecting your environment. It's affecting where you are. Environment is stronger than nature, okay? Environment is stronger than nature. So your environment that you have created because of who you are, and you subconsciously create, because most of our thoughts lie in the subconscious area of our brain. Now you consciously are trying to fight against your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind makes up most of your thought patterns. So when I say subconsciously, these are the thoughts that you're not necessarily thinking about all the time, but they run your life, right? Subconsciously, you're saying that I'm a small person. I'm not strong. I'm not brave. I'm not a king. I'm not a queen. That's what you say to yourself subconsciously, but you're trying to walk around here with this fake pride and this fake ego that ain't real. It ain't real because we see what you're doing. You treat people like trash. The things you say to people is never building them up. It's always trying to break people down. You know what I'm saying? You a negative pusher. You love to live in negative energy. You love being around gossipy people. You sit at the office and you just talk about crap. You don't never talk about nothing that's gonna build, right? You have to understand what's going on in the entirety of things. You have to see both sides at all times. You have to be able to look at yourself inward and say, what am I not doing that's holding me back from who I am, who I really want to be, right? Because who I really want to be is being molded by my environment. My environment is there and is present because of who I am. Okay? Take more action. And those of you that seem to think, right, talked to a brother, he was telling me about him catching a case. He was telling me how he's a felon now. He got out about 2 or 3 years ago. He caught a case and he's going through the probationary period. He got 10 years of probation. Brother said he got to pay like $30,000 in restitution. I said, good Lord. I said, Jesus Christ is going to be on your soul, bro, because he's going to be covering you because you're going through it. But at the end of the day, that's his cross. You got to take that up. But he was telling me that he feels like he got to stay in the game. He got to stay doing what he's doing because he's not going to be able to get no job. He says that, you know, doing it the honest way, doing it the good way, you know what I'm saying? I say good way, I'm saying the clean way, the way he could actually sustain is going to be too much work for him right now. He got to pay them bills, right? He got to pay them bills. So he's a slave to the situation that he's in. To which I say, I saw a similar situation in my life when I had a kid, right? I had a kid and I was like, man, I got to take care of this kid. I got to figure out a way to take care of this kid. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no, you know, this, that, and in the third. And I know I got to make something happen, right? I'm thinking in my head, like, I can't become a slave. He can't become a slave. I'm like, my brother, we can't become slaves. Because at the end of the day, when you become a victim, then you'll always be a victim, right? You can't take on a victim's mindset. You are going to be locked to that forever. There's nothing that we lock to in this world. We have a plethora of opportunities. We're only one network away from changing everything. There's always something else you can do. There's always something else you can do. You have to get with the right people. You have to get around people that have done it though. And when you in your little weak little circle and you in the circle of small minds and people that's around you that love to play small ball and they talk about how the little thoughts that you have make sense, and you never talk to somebody with that vast mind, with that godlike mind, with that mind that's really trying to propel their life forward, that's trying to give value to the people around them, and they're trying to lift other people up, and they're not necessarily allowing you to be in their space, speaking negativity. When you're not around people like that, it could tend to make you think that, oh, there aren't people like that. But here we go with that mentorship piece, right? Be Like Mentoring Program is present because we're trying to give student athletes the opportunity to see that there are people that are doing great things because of how they think, not because of anything else. It's because of how they think, because what you think about affects what you do. There's always something else you can do. A real hustler can lose it all and get it right back. What you think is producing what you have. Again, that environment situation. What you think, you got to get back into the mind, and you have to dig into the right side, the left side of that brain. You have to get into a binary and trinary type of thinking and really dig out of there and say, who are the people I need to connect with? Who's doing stuff that has the profile that I have? Who's being successful that has the profile that I have? Because everybody doesn't have your profile. Everybody's not going to understand your struggle, but somebody does. Somebody does. We have too many resources now for us to sit here and make excuses for why we're not where we want to be in life. There's so many different things we could do. We can Google, we can Facebook, we can Twitter, we can Instagram, we can TikTok, we can do all this stuff, but we tend to use those things to escape from reality versus enhance our reality. And that's the problem. Our problem is that we don't necessarily see value in becoming a better person. We don't necessarily see value in that stuff because we see value in external things. We see value in things that are material. And that is what's holding us back, because you can get flash some money at, and that'll change your whole song. You will sing a different tune when somebody throw the right bag at you. And that's your problem. Your problem is you don't understand the bag is internal. The bag is created internal. You can't throw enough money at me to reciprocate the value that I provide. I provide this value because of who I am, and I'm reciprocated for that value because you understand that it's valuable. Come on, man, stop playing with me. Like that's the thing, man. That's the thing. Information. Why are we not purging on information? I understand, like, school wasn't everybody's thing, but when you get into the real world and you find out that the people that are successful have a different piece of information than you, and they may not be smarter than you, they just have a different piece of information that changed their situation. Why would you not be searching for it? I mean, I just want to understand. I'm just trying to get it. You know what I mean? I'm with y'all. Like I'm the learner too. I'm constantly listening to people that's giving information. Why not? Why not? Let's not escape from our reality, y'all. And here's the next question too. This is something that is heavy on my spirit because I've battled with this time and time again, and I believe that the devil really organizes this in a very, very poetic way. He has a very elegant way of organizing the thought in our head that we don't deserve abundance, right? The devil has an organized way of putting the thought in our head that we do not deserve abundance. When I say abundance, I'm talking about everything, speaking in all, totality, saying that I deserve everything and I will stop at nothing, right? He makes us think that, you deserve some things, but some things you don't deserve because you didn't work that hard for that. Or because you don't have that education. Well, you shouldn't really get that yet. So you should just kind of get in that group over there and be with that group because that group is more so your speed. You can't have that. You don't deserve that woman, right? She's way out of your league. You don't deserve that man. Look at the money that he has. Like, come on, man, stop playing with me. We supposed to have abundance. Like, we supposed to believe and know, and we are owed abundance. We follow Christ, right? You follow the creator, you abide by the rules, you have more ethics, you have a code, or you believe in whatever you believe in. You stick to principles. Abundance is on the other side. Abundance is on the other side. But you have to believe that, right? Because what you don't believe, you won't get. Because you can't see it, right? In your mind's eye. Not necessarily in your physical eye, because that's not faith. Faith is things unseen. So it has to be in your mind's eye, right? You have to literally live in that world. And then when you wake up and open your eyes, then that's when you go out and attack that world and get that world that you say you really want in your mind's eye. And you have to keep that mind protected and stop letting small little minds into that space and try to damage and taint what you see, because everybody's vision isn't anything like yours. But as long as you keep letting all these external forces come into your space and cloud your vision and dumb down that greater side of you, right? Your highest self, those greater angels that's working for your favor. As long as you keep letting people come in and quiet those, then you're gonna stay where you at. You're gonna stay where you at. You can't be afraid of the greater side of you. You can't be afraid of the fact that if you show people at the job how great you really are at this job, that they're gonna expect more of you. Of course. Because once you show me that you're valuable, I'm expecting more. I'm gonna put more on you. And you can't be afraid of that because that's when the cortisol levels rise and that's when the fear reduces. Remember, that's when the cortisol levels rise and the fear reduces. Once the cortisol levels rise, you become that king, you become that queen, you become that person that can step into your fear and say, I'm gonna make this happen because now the stress is on me. Now it's time to act. It's time to go and take care of things. It's that fight or flight response, right? When I'm in a fight or flight response, I'm gonna dominate this or I'm gonna run. And I'm not running because abundance is my birthright. If you get a woman that has a small child and her child is underneath the car and she's in a fight or flight response, what's she gonna do? She's gonna lift that car up and she's gonna get her baby out. She's gonna get her baby from under the tire, and then afterwards she's gonna pass out because of the adrenaline, because of the endocrine levels and the way that the nervous system is firing, and the body is going to respond to the stress. So we can't be afraid of the stress. The stress is our friend, right? God built this whole situation on purpose now. He built this whole situation on purpose. It ain't God's plan for no reason. So somebody's probably telling me, you know what I'm saying? It sounds good, right? It sounds good. What it look like? What's it look like, Sloan? I tell you, it looks like committing, right? It looks like a commitment to something that you saying that you want, right? It's a commitment. No matter what, I'm gonna do it. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going to do it. The man in the arena, right? I'm in the arena and I'm going to win. I'm going to make this happen. And if I don't make this happen, win, lose, or draw, whatever, I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to fix what I didn't get right. And I'm going to go back into the arena again. Because the only way we're alive is if we're in the fight. Otherwise, you dead. The only way you're alive is if you're in the fight. Otherwise, you dead. You the walking dead. You a zombie out here, right? You a zombie out here. You ain't doing nothing for your family. You ain't doing nothing for your friends. You ain't doing nothing for your finances being a zombie. You need to go out there and be alive and get into the arena and go fight. Go fight. If you ain't no real soldier, then you fight for somebody. You know what I'm saying? You fight for somebody. You got to have a why. So commit. And then once you commit, you'll figure the rest out later, right? I'll figure the rest out later. It'll all come together. But if I don't take the step forward, then the path won't reveal itself to me, right? Because I'm on the road less traveled, right? Talking about that Robert Frost, the road not taken. I'm going down the two roads diverged. Like I'm taking that road and I don't really know where I'm going, right? I don't know where I'm going. But as I continue to step forward, then okay, there's less sticks right here. Okay, oh snap, there's no stone over here. Or I can go this way. Oh man, I had no idea that this passageway was gonna open up in this way. There's no trees, there's nothing. And hey, look at that, we done found some water, right? Now I done tapped into that divine self. I'm in my higher self because now I'm not working off of what I see. I'm working off of what I believe, right? I believe that this is gonna work out. So if I believe it's gonna work out, then it's gonna work out. That's it. If I believe it's gonna work out, it's gonna work out. So let's bust it down then. Let's bust it down a little more, right? I'm a former athlete, and everything we used to do as far as game plans was concerned, and I was coach as well, is we used to game plan big plays, right? Big plays in football are plays defined as 25 yards or more, right? So we defined offensively what our big plays were going into a game. We had about 6. Same thing in life. I translate this same thing over into life as to what are our big plays? What are my big plays? Once you identify what those big plays are, then you schematically devise a plan to put yourself in the best position to make those big plays work. Y'all not hearing me though. You schematically devise a situation to where those big plays are going to be successful. You're not going to run your big play in a situation where you're behind the sticks. You're going to run your big play when you're ready to run your big play, right? So run your big play at the time you're ready to run it, commit and go. Go. What you got to lose? You have nothing to lose. You've never lived this life before. And you'll never live this life again. And if you lose, guess what? You'll be right back where you are right now. You'll be right back where you ain't gonna go nowhere. But if you go backwards, hey, at least I tried. At least I tried. Versus being afraid, being scared, and being stagnant for the rest of my life. So what will it take? Calculating costs, right? We talked in business terms a little bit ago. Calculating costs. What is it going to cost? What is it going to take for us to get there? Being if I know the numbers, if I know how much supply I need, if I know how many hours it's going to take me to become this person, if I know who's going to have to be around me, if I actually devise that plan again and write it down, or I get accountability partners who can let me know, who've been there before, how to get there, then I have an accountability piece to my plan now because I know what it's going to cost. And once I calculate the cost, then I can say whether or not I'm going to do it. And then once I say no, if I turn it down, I turned it down. I'm not looking back. You know what I'm saying? My situation I turned down. That's the problem. Sometimes we turn situations down, then we want to double back. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. I didn't really think about, no. I already said I turned it down. I'm good. Don't bring it back to me, right? Because I believe in my discernment and my understanding of what I can do. Because once I call my big play, it's a go. it's a go. All gas, it's a go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave y'all with this, and we're gonna take this to the bank, right? Find something that's big enough to scare the hell out of you, right? Something that scares you. It's like, damn, I don't know if I can do that. Stress, cortisol levels rise, right? Find something that scares you a little bit. Hold on to that thought and really cement yourself in it, because when it scares you, but it rewards you, right? In your mind, and you can see it vividly. You can taste it, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can hear it. And it's vivid, right? It's real to you. Then pull out one action step and go make that happen right now. Right now, make it happen. And once you make it happen, celebrate. See what that does. Tap in. Feel the whole power of it. You know what I'm saying? The whole power of it. And then do it again. Make it a habit. Write it down on your board. Put your trophies up. Make little trophies for yourself. And I'm telling you, man, we gonna get there. We all gonna get there. And when we get to the top, we ain't gotta fight. We ain't gotta fight, because there's enough for all of us to eat. If it's money, they printing more money every day, and they ain't even got it. Don't trip on the money. If you the type of person that like people gonna come in and out your life all the time. Keep your internal circle, keep it strong, keep good people you can trust. But these people, it's almost it's billions of people out here in the world. It's okay. If it's your spiritual faith that you want to get closer to God, God's always gonna be there for you, right? He's just waiting on you. He been there for you. So what's the excuse? There ain't none. Peace.